Welcome to the Le Have Tiny Cabin. This is a 300 square foot oceanfront tiny home about 1.5 hours outside of Halifax, Nova Scotia. The surrounding area that I'm in right now is really gorgeous, and this home is literally just steps away from the Atlantic Ocean. You have this really nice private outdoor space that includes the wood-powered hot tub that is right next to me smoking it up. Inside you have then a super cozy interior which feels way larger than 300 square feet if you ask me. I especially really like the loft bedroom, but I think you guys are really going to enjoy this spot, so without further ado, let's now go and hop straight into the full tour. Welcome to this modern Scandinavian tiny home that is just steps away from the ocean. This is what the back side of the cabin looks like when you first pull up in your car, but let's walk in this direction to go and see what the front of this Airbnb looks like. The front is very modern and dominated by all of those windows. And this cabin was actually built all the way back in 1880, and it served as the original kitchen for the main home we see in the background. These owners then stripped it down to its studs and rebuilt it to what we now see today. It's a pretty cool story. Now, in terms of exterior amenities, this tiny home has a lot to offer, especially considering its smaller size. You have this gorgeous wood-powered hot tub that is right behind the ocean. I mean, just look how close we are. And the host left behind some instructions on how to operate it, along with plenty of firewood. And it's pretty easy to use. You're just gonna start a small fire down this little chute, and you're then all good to go. And most of these shots were taken around sunrise, so be sure to wake up bright and early because the sun is right in front of the cabin over the ocean. You don't wanna miss it. After that, you have your seating area with a larger outdoor couch, these two smaller white chairs, and a table. And again, I just can't get over the proximity of this house to the water. It doesn't get much better than this. This is what you're gonna see as soon as you walk out the two sliding glass doors. And the weather was a little all over the place when I visited, between rainy and cloudy like this, but I also got some great sunrise shots that look a little more like this. And last but not least, in this other corner, you can find a grill so you can have a little barbecue during your stay. And I almost forgot to mention this, but there's one more cool feature. If I move around the chairs a little and I unhook this on the right, this actually extends and it makes up your hammock. I love how they stored this. It's a great use of the space. You can just lay here and enjoy your view. That's about it for everything on the exterior, so I'll now just briefly focus on the surrounding area. Again, we're in a spot called Le Have, Nova Scotia, and it's just minutes away from some of the best beaches and a bunch of different quaint shops and bakeries. You can also take a ferry to the town of Lunenburg, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This entire area reminds me a lot of Maine or Cape Cod in the States, where I used to vacation when growing up. But that's gonna do it for everything outside, guys. So I'm sure you're dying to see the interior. I'm gonna open up the door and let's go and check it out. When you first enter, you'll come into this main space, which contains your kitchen and living room. And looking over in this area, I love the high vaulted ceilings and how almost that entire wall is just made up of windows looking out towards the ocean. Now, if we look up top again, you have these two large beams that are wrapped up in some lights. There's also that huge lighting fixture, which definitely matches with the rest of the interior. Let's go into some more detail now, and we'll start off in the living room. The interior is a little over 400 square feet in total for reference, and this living room has a couch and a smaller table. And then my favorite part was this little reading area with this comfortable couch in the corner. Next, we'll go into the kitchen, which is top of the line with all of your stainless steel appliances and plenty of countertop space. A bunch of the tiny homes I visited recently may have the appliances, but there's not a lot of space for you to cook in. And at this Airbnb, that is definitely not the case. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I love my kitchens when everything is out in the open and easily accessible. So you have these two large shelves with everything from your coffee and tea makers to the Wi-Fi password to more coffee mugs and wine glasses to either your plates and bowls. You will not have to waste any time rummaging around in the different drawers. Finally, if we look on over to the right, you have one of those fancy microwaves and then your full oven and stovetop. I think this has to be one of the best kitchens I've ever seen in a tiny home. After the kitchen, let's now turn our attention over here to the right to your dining table. It's up against this wall near the bathroom and the stairs, and you have these two modern chairs and a small rounded dining table. And there's a few items that the host left behind for you. For starters, you have this nice bottle of fresh pressed cider that is made locally, and there's also the guest book, which I always enjoy flipping through. If we look behind the dining table, there are two doors. One of them is just a closet, but I'll slide back this other one, and this takes us into the bathroom. I especially love the rounded black sink and also the gold colored faucet. And as you can see, there is no shortage of towels or other basic bathroom amenities like toilet paper. It's really decked out with everything that you could possibly need. Next, if we pan over here to the right-hand side, you can find your shower, and you have a gold-colored shower head at the top, which had some great water pressure. Overall, this feels like a very luxurious bathroom. That will do it for the first floor. So now I'll go back to the living room and up these stairs. Watch your step because they're a little steep, but this will take us to the loft bedroom. The host managed to fit a queen mattress up here, and you have two little nightstands on either side with some lighting fixtures. And I loved the gorgeous white wood finishing and also those big hardwood floors. There's two large windows along this wall as well that let in plenty of natural light, but the best part of this entire bedroom is actually not in this direction. We need to look the other way. This is your view from the loft looking out back towards the Atlantic Ocean. You have that entire wall of windows and the golden light is coming in. This was taken closer to sunset. You can just see the huge amount of smoke coming out of the wood-powered hot tub. This is all right at the edge of your bed as soon as you wake up in the morning. Thanks for watching, guys. The link to book this cabin on Airbnb is down in the video description. And until next time, I will see you very soon for another Airbnb tour.